and thank you for joining me once more into the fear that is Scarlet Hollow. Today we're going to delve a little deeper into the mysteries as to what's going on, and, if we're lucky, spend more time with Gretchen. I ran him ragged today with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror. You don't have to leave on my account. I can stay up. This is important. Huh. Okay. Maybe it's that I'm eager to get home and start doing some research. The truth comes out. I'll ask around on my usual forums to see if anyone has information on ditchlings. Is that what you called them? That's right. You go on home now and do try to get some rest. Don't stay up all night on the online. On the online. On the online. Oh, that's funny. Let me get some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Knika. I'll see you. Bye, Fantasy. It's excellent iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Now, that isn't ominous at all. Why do we need to wake up? I thought we were trying to relax. That's mighty sus. Can I vote her out of the airlock? I suddenly am very concerned. Be careful out there, both of you. I want to trust her, I really do. But suddenly I have this sense of terror that, is warning me that something bad is going to happen, like there's malicious intent. I don't know why. What an unfortunately short visit. Alrighty, let's head back home. My home, I mean. Don't I have to go back to my cousin's? And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I don't want to leave Stella alone, but I also don't think it's fair to Tabitha. I should probably head back and check on Tabitha. That's sweet of you. Are you sure you're okay heading back up that mountain alone? I feel this is very important. On second thought, yeah, I'll stay. Thanks for the offer. Awesome. If I'm being honest, not being alone tonight is a weight off my chest. It doesn't take long for Stella to fix up the guest room for you. While it's certainly smaller than its counterpart at the estate, it's far better cared for. It's so exciting to have a guest. I can't remember the last time we've had company. Make yourself at home. You didn't have to do all this. Or you know you didn't have to do all this, right? You don't have to worry about that. I'm glad the guest room is finally getting some use. What do you make of all this? Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. Those creatures are out there, and Duke is dead. I know that some of the things Sybil said were a little wild, but if she is right, and they are an omen, maybe we can change things and stop whatever's brought them here before it happens. Oh dear, I think I see where this is going. We are going to have the unfortunate burden of knowing before events happen, but no one trusting us. Also, I want to take a moment and draw out some of the things that I've noticed here. Look at this picture here. Isn't that nice? That's so sweet. A nice old couple. I think that's her parents, although I don't want to assume things. But, you know, this didn't have to be here, but this is an addition that, I don't know, I really appreciate. Like, this didn't need to be here. It serves no purpose in the game that I'm aware of, plot-wise or otherwise. But it makes the home feel more home. Yes, there we go. It couldn't hurt to poke around the town. I have the time. Agreed. Who is that guy outside of Sybil's? I'd never been stuck up on like that before. Wayne? I haven't really gotten to know the guy. I think he works in the mine. It might be worth looking into him. I should probably try calling Tabitha. Right. She'd probably like to know you're not dead. Get some rest, Fantasy. I'll see you in the morning. I'm on the verge of passing out myself. What an exciting, if terrible, day. You pull out your phone and call your cousin. It rings for a moment before she picks up. Where the hell have you been? I called you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. Do you know anyone named Wayne? I employ over 100 people. I'm sure I know a Wayne. I watched a man die tonight. I went into the woods with this girl I met to find some cryptids, and it ended with us watching a man die. Hi, Zana. Ah, so you met Stella, then. Ugh, that explains everything. She's gotten you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I'll collect you tomorrow. From the comfort of Stella's guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe, and you're warm. One moment, please. I fear I may have something happening that I may not... Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. We're okay. Back to our regularly scheduled, or rather, non-scheduled stream. I'm doing a bit better, Zana. I have been struggling lately, as I tend to do, as does everybody from time to time, but I'm improving. Oh, of course, Trey. It took me a while, but as I mentioned previously, I have been struggling a bit, so I beg forgiveness. From the comfort of Stella's guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else. Though you can... Oh, wait. Yeah, I read this already. Sorry. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters, and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. But maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a relaxing week in the mountains with a new friend. It's a nice thought. But deep down, you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. From behind closed doors, you faintly hear the sounds of quiet sobs. Ah, no. Poor Stella. Uh-oh, is this chapter 1 done? Oh dear, that's a lot of eyes. I gotta say, I love this animation style, this drawing style. It's very nice. Oh my goodness. I love this. I guess the past 2 streams have just been the intro. Oh dear. We're in for quite a wild ride, aren't we? This music is very well picked and composed. For me, it comprises a feeling of impending sense of doom and dread, of knowing the end and being powerless to stop it. Yet trying so vigorously to understand, or even try to grasp the threat about to consume you. It's just, I love this kind of horror. Yeah, Zana, I wish I could draw this well as well. Yes, this is in fact a horror game. With October coming, it seemed appropriate. Scarlet. Hollow. This is the end of episode 1. Episode 2 awaits. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 2, please save your game now. Well, it has been 2 videos. Let's see a recap of what has transpired to fantasy in this universe. The long-lost cousin. The bad news. The 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops in seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet. Your cousin's mother and your aunt seem like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floor has been known to give out. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Haha, oh Avery, I am not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. She hunts cryptids. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Pain, rot, decay. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. Come on, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grew louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. You dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. Dang it! Oh, geez, I forgot about that, yes. Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. Welcome home. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they're a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. From the comfort of Stella's guest room, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe, and you're warm. Tuesday morning awaits. Wake up. You open your eyes. The sun has risen. The birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window and the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. A knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Fantasy? Oh, hey Tabby. There's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check in on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. Finish getting dressed and calmly collect yourself. That sounds reasonable. Are you sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week of all weeks. You should let yourself... I'm fine. Thanks. Fantasy, I know you're here. Where the hell are you hiding? I see no need to delay the inevitable. Walk out to greet them. Now sufficiently prepared to greet other civilized humans, you open the door and join them in the living area. Gretchen excitedly looks at you and wiggles her tail. Ah, Gretchen. I simply must say what a joy it is to see that you're finally up. I do hope you're well rested and that you don't mind our most unfortunate guest. Morning. How'd you sleep? I mean, why the animosity here? Just because Stella's being friendly towards me. It is very peculiar to me. What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? One moment, please. Begging pardon. We went up to the woods to film a video. No, not that part. The cops called this morning told me all about that. They did? What'd they say? Did they find Duke? They didn't find a body, if that's what you're asking, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Fantasy. Ugh. Don't worry, I told them you were an upstanding citizen. You should remember that kindness the next time you think about blowing me off to spend the night with a stranger. Hey, don't be so hard on Fantasy. I asked him to crash here. And look, I don't care what the cops think, Tabby. There's something horrible out in those woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Fantasy walking up that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. I... Yeah. Alright. You're not going to let her treat my dearest Stella like that, are you, Fantasy? Isn't this Stella's house? Why are you bossing her around? Come on, Tabby, no birding guests in the Richmond house. Whatever. I don't really care if you're here for this. You've been in town for less than a day and my stress level is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you all worked up and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. I watched a man die last night. Cut me some slack. You mentioned that before I went to bed. I have no idea what happened in the woods, but if that's true, it's all the more reason to head back to the estate before it gets dark. I'm leaving. I've already lost a good chunk of my workday coming down here. I expect to see you back at the estate tonight. Stella, please try not to traumatize him while I'm gone. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? You're relentless. We'll see. But don't get your hopes up. Hey. You good? Sorry about Tabby. She totally blindsided me. I'm good, but how are you? That was a little tense. I think we're in the same boat. I probably should have known Tabby would have been stressed out about you spending the night here, but I haven't seen her in a while. I didn't think she'd actually come all the way down here. It sucks that this was probably the longest interaction I've had with her since high school. Anyways, sorry for that rude awakening. I've been up for a little while, but I was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. But you're up now, and we got a full day ahead of us if we're going to get to the bottom of this. A full day ahead of us? That sounds like it's walking time to me. We could ask, how are you so chipper? You shouldn't be okay right now. I guess I'm just pretty good at compartmentalizing things. What happened out in the woods last night was horrific, but right now we have something important to focus on. I'll have the time to process what happened to Duke when we get to the bottom of this. You shouldn't just bury your feelings like that. What happened to Duke last night would mess with anyone. I get that, but I'm fine, really. At least for now. I can process this in my own time. Ghost Tracks, San Antonio, Texas. Okay. Tell you what, Stella has all the experience, so what's the game plan? Oh, don't call me boss. We're partners in this. But first things first, I was hoping to swing by the library. Kanika's got a head start on us. It looks like she's already there. Oh, that reminds me. Let me set up a group chat. What's your number? You and Stella exchange phone numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads group chat. Hopefully we can find out more about ditchlings from some of the older local books there. I've also got a couple of threads cooking on my cryptid forums, but who knows if that'll pan out. Anyway, daylight's burning, so let's roll out as soon as you finish getting dressed. Let's eat. Eating is healthy. Don't worry about it, I've packed all sorts of snacks for the day, and Oscar totally won't mind if we eat at the library. Get dressed and head into town. Scarlet Hollow Town Hall. I mean, look at this artwork. This is well drawn. All of it, really, but... The walk to town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labeled Town Hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the Town Hall, but that's just upstairs, or a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. That, and our mayor's really into going on walks. I think there's actually going to be a meet and greet later this week. Could be just the pick-me-up we need with everything that's been going on. Stella may be fond of him, but I certainly didn't vote for the beast. He is a human, right? Now wait a second. You think to yourself, really he likes going on walks. Gretchen calling him a beast. There's no way. He is a human, right? Oh hey! Morning, Stella, and same to you, Fantasy. Speak of the devil. We were just talking about you. Oh. Coming from Stella's, huh? Did y'all have a slumber party? Sorry, y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop the chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Nah, getting an early start seems important. Cool, that works for me. See you later, Avery. Bye, Miss Forsyth. Time may be of the essence here. Reading adventure. Wait, what? What is what? What is this? In the library? What is this? Is this foreshadowing or is this a red herring? Are they going to sacrifice me? All these miners? You and Stella enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Kanika quietly waves at you and Stella from her table. Alright, let's get settled. Hey, y'all look tired. My goodness, whatever happened to common decency? You can't go around telling someone they look unwell. You look marvelous, Fantasy. You know what? I'm pretty amped up, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Or Raggy? That's awful. I'm sorry, everyone. I apologize. That was awful. Some creepy old guy with a real estate scheme and a bad costume is at least a little more believable than monsters and curses. Wouldn't that be a relief? And if Fanta's antics are anything to go by, we've already got our talking dog. Wait. Okay, so... I know... Oh, thank you, Trey. I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to incorporate that if I can. So... I spoke like Scooby as best as I could. And then She comments how Fantasy's antics are anything to go by. We've already got our talking dog. I know this is likely a coincidence, but oh my goodness, that is some fourth wall breaking if it isn't. I love that. I do so wish you could understand me, Stella. Oh god. Anyways, I guess we should get started. I'll be doing most of my research online, but I went ahead and put together some books that might be helpful. On top of local texts covering the history of Scarlet Hollow, there are also volumes on cryptids and Appalachian folklore. Haywood, Jackson... I can't read that. Transylvania, I think? Malcolm, Swain, Clay... Ah, thanks, Kanika. NC, is that North Carolina? 1 second. It would help if I typed NC, not... Okay. So, fun fact, this is taking place in a place that does appreciate the flag of North Carolina. I don't know if we've addressed this already, but interesting fact. That is the North Carolina flag. I thought you didn't believe in supernatural stuff, Kanika. What's with all the folklore? Even if what we're dealing with isn't magical, it exists, and it has existed. Even the most far-fetched myths and urban legends have some basis in reality, and piecing those facts together is way better than going out there with nothing. Now that is some quality logic. I appreciate that, actually. Plus, I know if I didn't grab them, Stella would already be out there getting them herself. Guilty as charged. Thanks, Kanika. Oh. Who's this dashing gentleman? Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. You know this will never get old. I don't know what to say. Is this a gift? I'm allergic to peanuts. Not serious allergic, but they give me a rash. Hey, Oscar, this is Fantasy. You know, Tabby's cousin. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez. I hope I pronounced that properly. Chief Librarian. And only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He's practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people. Oh my. Kanika's comments do not represent my own, of course. I should clarify. Y'all are too kind, but speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she has been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she's getting into trouble out there. Gretchen's got that ruh-roh look on her face. I know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at Old Maxwell Place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the Old Maxwell Place? It's this old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I don't like the thought of teens getting up. He's going to be, like, clueless is what I mean, but... Yeah, ditchlings? That's actually why we came in today. Have you heard of them? They're a cryptid, and seeing one's supposed to mean disasters around the corner. Doesn't ring a bell. Dang. Worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try to figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna grab some more bucks. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Oh, you don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old gal. Aw. Well, ain't you the sweetest thing on two legs? Gretchen inhales the biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. That is adorable. Bug, I love you. You are my pug. But I also love Gretchen. She is your unofficial sister now. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I see what she did there. Gretchen, barking. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something going on out in those woods. Whatever's out there in the woods isn't brutalizing the local wildlife. I don't think it's safe. I'm gonna try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine. Really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting in trouble. We'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Oh. Rosalina's not here, is she? She's dead. Thanks, Kanika. And Fantasy, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Oh, I love that bat sticker on the laptop. That is cute. Flip through Veins of Scarlet. A history of Scarlet Hollow coal mines. Silas Scarlet soldier, woodsman leader. Appalachian folk monsters. This would tell me more of my family history, I think. Or at least the business thing. This would tell me more about my ancestry as far as how this town might have started. But this, I think, would be the most useful for our current task. A few entries catch your eye. Wampus Cat. A large... Perkru Kasai, I apologize if I butchered your name, but so am I. I love mystery and horror. Wampus Cat, a large cat-like creature with loud howling voice, often to sound like a woman crying out in pain. Tommyknockers, enigmatic cave-dwelling creatures primarily known for causing mischief. Tally-Po, a small creature with a long tail and wide yellow eyes. You know, of those three, Tommyknockers would be the most likely to be in town because of the caves and mining. And look at right there. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever is unfortunate enough to still be inside. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Okay, I think we have a possible lead here. Let's check out the Wampus Cat. Often linked to Cherokee legends, some cite the Wampus Cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and, by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness, and serve as a warning to anyone who dares goes against tradition. Tallypo. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. I cannot help but notice this is the only one that's got like a story behind it. Interesting. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick, and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail, shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this'll have to do," he said to his dog, and threw the tail into a pot to cook with the soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into bed, satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been. And in the gloom, he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Taily-Poo," a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away!" he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hard wood accompanying its movements. "I want my Taily-Poo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. "I want my Taily-Poo." Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney standing alone in the woods. Huh. You closed the book and put it back. Let's see. Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman. No, let's go to the mines, because now that we know that mines are a thing. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars? I don't know if that's... might be what it's called historically, but not accurate ethnically, but I guess that's not my issue. I guess I really have no dog in this fight, technically speaking, but still. History is weird. Exasperated by a short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy. Oh my. Confederacy. Oh my. We might have been fighting for the wrong side in the Civil War, according to this. For those of you who are not as up on American history as others, allow me to explain a little bit of history. I feel compelled to do this because I have seen that right now, honestly, a vast majority of the people that, well, not vast, but a majority, the number one source of revenue that I seem to get comes from Norway, so I'll take a moment to kind of explain. During the American Civil War, there was a clash of ideas. One side felt it okay to enslave other people based upon the color of their skin. The other did not. There were apparently some other ideological issues as well, but that was one of the main issues, I feel. Of course, since we were not there, it's hard to determine, but either way, the Confederacy was the South. It comprised those who wanted to keep slavery under the guise of states' rights. So basically, apparently in this game, my family is not the best. Interesting. Silas Scarlet also lost his two eldest sons in that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Oh, goody. So we don't have qualms about fighting for slaves. We're super exploitive capitalists. Okay, let's keep going. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1889, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918. It was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. And this, folks, is why we need oversight. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's eldest son, Theodore, who had taken over his aging father, the bustle of the war. His brother Enoch V. Scarlet managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. I wonder. Theory time, folks. I believe that perhaps there is either some form of curse or sacrifice being done with my family's bloodline to further someone else within that bloodline. Just a guess, but I don't know. I do see that there seems to be a bit of a running theme here. So this is how your family made its fortune. Silas Scarlet, soldier, woodsman, leader. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. Jeez. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during I'd called it North Carolina, tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own 2 hands. I'm sure. Occupied by his family of 10. Jeez! Silas, his wife, Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think you can rule out any natural disasters is what brought the Ditchlings here. But not nuclear. Current state of affairs in the U.S. and the world. Very scary. Looks like our state has a history with those. But what about y'all? Find anything? Oh. Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps up onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Ah, hey, Pixel. Look at that handsome kitty. Reminds me of Rambo. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Pixel, my dear friend, it's been too long. How have you been? Hungry. Did Stella bring the good stuff? Haha, don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Aw, yeah. Snack time. Crumsh, crumsh. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. What do you think about the monster we saw in the woods? They might think it's funny that I'm asking Kitty, but I'm an indoor cat. I don't know nothing about no woods. I just hang out in the library. Especially now that our house got haunted. Wait, your house is haunted? What? Hey, how'd you know? What? Pixel told me. Honesty's a bad policy. Fantasies are psychic or can talk to animals. It's a long story. No comment. We've, been living in the library for a little bit. It's been great. Way more snacks. Way more scritches. Except sometimes there's too much scritches. Hold up, what kind of haunting are we talking about here? Unexplained noises? Objects appearing in strange and unfamiliar places? Oscar, don't get her hopes up like that. Nothing like that, sorry. The floor in my bedroom just keeps seeping blood, and I've seen a strange... Okay. Strange figure in the hallway a couple of times. Wait, you've seen a full-body apparition? Can I see it? Stella, it's probably just a dirty pipe or something. But what if it's a ghost? It's worth looking into. Y'all are more than welcome to check it out. Maybe tomorrow night? Well, I can't be there. I have a bedtime. Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to spend the evening. Can't wait to get spooked by some creaky pipes. I'll leave Pixel be. I don't want to upset the kitty. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I'd better get back to shelving. Let me know if you need anything. Any luck with Rosalina? Heh, not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're done and check out the usual haunts. What do you think about nuclear incidents? Stella, what were you saying? Okay. You were talking about the Goldsboro thing, right? Yeah. Apparently in the 60s, a B-52 carrying a live warhead broke up midair and dropped a couple of bombs? Fascinating bit of history there. The first of the 2 bombs landed upright after its parachute got caught in the tree. Thankfully, it didn't go off. Are we all dead and this is purgatory? At the time, the government claimed that the bomb was unarmed, but it later came out that the only thing preventing a detonation was a single electrical switch which failed to trigger on the descent. And 60 years later, the second bomb still hasn't been recovered. Okay, That is more than a little worrisome. Right. Its conventional explosive disintegrated in midair, but most of the nuclear material has been unrecoverable by flooding. If I remember correctly, they just buried it and sealed it up. I'm sorry, did you say they buried it? Do y'all need something dug up? Because if so, I'm your gal. Thank you, Gretchen. You're such a sweetie. I don't think disarming nuclear bombs is part of our skill set. Absolutely not. Also, Goldsboro is almost 400 miles from here. I think we're good. I'm just saying, you never know with radiation. We actually know quite a bit. It just melts you, it doesn't make monsters. And a 60-year-old bomb isn't going to explode on its own hundreds of miles away and kill us here. You never know. There could always be a whole underground society of bomb-worshipping mutants just waiting to blow it up. I've missed this. Do you think there's a cult here? A lot of folks feel tense and closed off. The whole vibe is this town is off, and it feels like folks are hiding something. Or maybe people here aren't used to strangers. Okay, let's talk about the coal mines then. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse. A union busting mine collapsed from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what the sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and women children who died that day. Every child in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You know, that could be what the ditchlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Writing it down on a list of potential disasters. Yeesh. Stella, that's morbid. And besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you get away with that kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? Haha, no, I don't think so. Whew. Had me worried there for a sec. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. What happened after the mine collapse? The book just kind of glosses over that. There was a union for a little bit, but it didn't last. There's not a whole lot written about the past century here. Oh gee, they're covering up historic facts. Huh. Ugh. Yeah, the Scarlet Hollow mine isn't exactly the most ethically run business. No offense or anything. I'm sure Tabby runs the mines better than Charles Shaw did. Still hasn't let the union in, though. There's a reason she and I don't talk. You guys seem to have a bone to pick with Charles Shaw. That's what happens when someone directly causes a monumental disaster, especially in a small town like this. People don't spit when they hear your name. He got run out of town on a rail, just. And that's not a figure of speech. Back then, they actually tied you to a rail and ran you out of town. There's a big mural of that over on the far wall. Actually, that would explain that one sacrifice-looking thing I saw earlier, that one picture. Okay. He got off easy, if you ask me. I'm not sure I agree with the collapse angle, but the mines seem important. The whole town is built around them. Yeah, that's fair. They're bound to be relevant in some way. Hard to argue against that, but that really doesn't give us much to go on. And just because something seems obvious doesn't necessarily mean it's right or relevant. Silas Scarlet. Self-made man. Rich guy in the South? I should have known it wouldn't be pretty. Yeesh. I figured old money from the South wouldn't be great, but, he sure did some things to get where he was, huh? That book is a perfect example of why you should use multiple sources for your research instead of trusting the first thing you read on a subject. Yep, dude was a monster. The mines made a lot of money during the Civil War, too. And you can probably guess which side a North Carolinian business owner would be working for. Called it. Sorry you're related to him. The town is stuck in the past and built on atrocities. It's already partially collapsing on itself, no offense. None taken. Why would the ditchlings be here now, though? Scarlet Hollow's been like this for as long as I can remember. Appalachian folk monsters. Do you think the ditchlings are Tommyknockers? What's with the whole warning thing? Good thought, but Tommyknockers live in mines. That's like their whole thing. I'm gonna write it down, though. Tommyknockers are literally just the sounds that happen when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse. Are they? Or are they the sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks and support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know. Wampus Cats kind of sound like they could be mountain lions. Voice like a woman crying out somewhere between person size and cat size? Definitely. They are 100% mountain lions. Kanika, you know there are no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Oh, Stella, one of these days you'll trust us. But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. Those legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused for a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot. Oh, we're about to get into some war. Shots are about to be fired. Started out as a prank, then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out, and now here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real, and I will literally eat it. I promise. I'm holding you to that. My mom used to tell me that Tally-Po story. I'd totally forgotten about it. It scared me so bad I didn't eat soup for years. I thought a monster might try and dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Tally-Po. The one that was left after the thing did whatever it did. Now, I know that's just because chimneys don't burn down, and wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Tally-Po. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're gonna get rabies one of these days, chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live life on the edge. Let's move on. Do you think Wayne factors in any of this? That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called out Fantasy by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe he's sick. Maybe that has something to do with what you saw in the woods. I don't know. I'd buy it. Why don't we just look for Rosalina? If there's a missing kid in town, that's probably way more important than whatever we're doing. Just to clarify, I don't think she's missing. She's just out with her friends ignoring her poor old man. Not that I don't appreciate your concern. I don't even know where we'd look aside from the Old Maxwell Place. What do teens even like to do these days? You don't have to worry about checking up on her there. I'm going out there once I've finished shelving. Just let me know if you run into her while you're out. There's an awful lot of mine-related stuff in my notes. Maybe that should be our next stop. We can poke around, find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you're suggesting we go to question some of the miners, right? We're not just poking around in the actual mines, right? Right? Yeah, totally. 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about mines. I promise, Sneaks. We're just going to question some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us good reason to poke around, say a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. And hey, maybe we'll look out and run into Rosalina while we're looking around. Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what happened to Wayne while we're at it. I feel like I don't have much of a say in this, but okay. It just makes the most sense to start there. We can make it quick. Just a few questions. Just question a few miners and be done with it. The fate of the town might be on our shoulders after all. The only problem is Tabitha. She's not exactly going to be thrilled to see us snooping around the mines. We can be sneaky. I'll make sure to be a good lookout. She'll never know we were there. Look at us, going out on a caper together. I miss this. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store, I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though, there is something missing. Reese! I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. That poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Fantasy. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. He's dead, isn't he? Alright, let's roll out. See you, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you all posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from an unending wilderness. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies, too. Shh! Not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The wind in the doorway stirs directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it'd be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not gonna wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no. Poor Reese. It's been so long since either of us gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Fantasy get along super well, too. I would offer the peanuts, but this clearly is not the situation. Vivian's kid? I know who you are. The way she avoids looking at you as she speaks makes you feel like you've done something wrong, even though you're pretty sure you've done nothing at all. Reese's mom turns back into the house. Is that a Batman logo on the belt? That's awesome. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. She sighs again, as if deciding whether to finish her thought. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise it'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Fantasy. That would be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No. Eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay. I'll bring soda then. That's not... Okay, yes. Fine, you can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. She might cheer him up, you know. They have those therapy dogs in the hospital. No dogs. Why, I never! The absolute gall! Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. God, that woman makes me so nervous. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? I'm sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take me long to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Fantasy. Don't worry. I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Why not just drive up with Kanika? Aren't the mines a bit ways off? Don't worry about it, Fancy. There's a lot of junk in my van. It gets a little tight with more than two people. You know what? I don't trust walking in the woods alone. I've seen enough horror movies to know that's not a good idea. We'll meet you there. The woods are calm and serene compared to... please get Gretchen on a leash. I don't want to see anything happen to the poor doggo. My heart couldn't take it. The woods are calm and serene compared to last night, though you can't help but get the feeling that danger lurks beyond the trees. Hey, thanks for coming along with us. With Gretchen and I. Gretchen and me, I mean. Should we talk about last night, though? Like, actually talk about it? I get the concern, but really, I'm fine. You don't have to keep bringing it up. It's hard to imagine you and Kanika doing videos together. She's such a skeptic. Well, they really weren't as spook-focused as my solo stuff. It was mostly just the escapades of three kids with too much time on their hands. Still, she wasn't always such a skeptic. She used to absolutely love reading anything with magic in it. And she still does, I think. She just doesn't think that stuff is real anymore. I guess I don't exactly think that way either, but I'm still willing to accept the unexplainable, while she looks for explanations. She keeps me grounded, honestly. Is it me, or does this conversation feel kind of stilted? Are you okay? Sorry. I guess I'm just a little on edge from being back in the woods. Or maybe the exhaustion from last night is finally catching up to me. Oh, look. Broken tree branch. A bird! Let me at it, I can get it. Back off, dog. This is my stick. Whoa, calm down, girl. It's just a bird. Same probably goes for the two of us. I guess we're getting a little on edge. Let's hurry to the mine. It shouldn't be much further. I really don't think that was a bird that just broke a tree branch. Kanika casually leans against her van as you and Stella emerge from the woods. Hey! Y'all have a good walk? Please get Gretchen on a leash. Please. I'm so scared that something's going to happen to poor Gretchen. You didn't run any of those creatures, did you? Nope. That makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. We're all here. What's the plan? I guess we just go talk to the people. I guess so. I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines. Tabitha? Yeah, I might have tried sneaking to talk to her a time or two too many. And Gretchen makes it extra hard to be sneaky. What can I say? I thrive in the limelight. Oh, Gretchen. We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. Estella's going on lookout duty. Only one of us is going in. What's the third person doing? You know those cheesy rom-coms where somebody wears an earpiece on their first date? Whoa, do you have some kind of surveillance rig in the back of your van? That I didn't know about? What? No! I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We need to do a group call. I take it I'm the one going in? Tabitha and I aren't exactly friends, and pretty much all of the miners shop at the general store. I don't want to make folks uncomfortable, you know? It's probably for the best, Fantasy. You're good, Kanika. I've got this. I mean, my family does legitimately have blood on their hands. The least I can do is face up some of the people that my family is currently still exploiting. Here's those earbuds I mentioned earlier. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's heading your way. Dang, I've missed doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Aw, thanks. I do my best. I guess we should part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Hey, can you hear us? Try saying something. Something. Alright, cool. Nothing to do now but enter the worksite. You pass through the unlocked fence and enter the property of the Scarlet Hollow Mine. I'm in. Alright, Morpheus. Good to know. Nearest group of miners. A blonde woman, broad-shouldered man, and an old-timer. The uniforms identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Zax. You got a reason to be bothering us? Do you know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. Why are you talking about him in the past tense? I met him last night. Good question. Wait, what? No way. Oh, beg pardon. Allow me to get a moment, or a little sip of water, please. Sorry. Isn't that the guy y'all said was, well, I guess he ain't. And he hasn't even skipped town, huh? Pretty unexpected turn of events, if you ask me. What a relief. Thought something awful happened to the poor guy. Pressed him. What do you think happened to him? What are you, some sort of cop? Just tell me what happened. Fuck off. Hey, Zax, come on, man. Sorry, language. No, I've been here decades longer than you, and I know bait when I see it. Let's get out of here. Our shift's about to start anyways. Sorry. That could have gone better. Maybe it was just me, but they seemed to think Wayne was dead, right? It wasn't just you. Don't worry about the miners storming off like that. That's some pretty good info. Another group of miners. Okay. Oh. Oh, hello. You shouldn't be up here. It's dangerous. Your buddies seem to think you're dead. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. Before you can say another word, the figure is gone. Hey, Fantasy, are you still there? We've just been getting static from you. Oh, don't mind me. Our new friend just stopped by to say hello. Whoa. I thought I saw you talking to someone down there. Are you okay? He told me to stay at the estate for the rest of the week. I wonder why. What in the hell is that supposed to mean? He must have been threatening you, right? The plot thickens. I beg pardon. But here's something. But that's okay. It's been a bit of a time anyway, and I probably should, as riveting as I find this story, probably should call it a stream. Thank you all for coming by, and have a wonderful day.